Welcome viewers, Dr. JWAU. Aboriginal authority erased when government power entered the Aboriginal family. The frontier had moved again, not across land, but into family, the Aboriginal families. By the early 20th century, Aboriginal protection systems in several Australian jurisdictions were giving officials extraordinary powers over Aboriginal lives, and increasingly children were inside their reach. The jurisdiction, the justification could sound familiar: welfare, protection, education, and supposedly better future. But beneath those words was an enormous transfer of decision-making power. Governments and protection authorities increasingly determined where some Aboriginal children would live, how they would be educated, where they might work, and whether they would remain with their families. And this was not identical everywhere. Different colonies and later states created different laws at different times. Aboriginal families also resisted, negotiated, and fought these interventions in different ways. But the direction of power is unmistakable. Colonisation had begun by occupying country without negotiating permission from the Aboriginal peoples. Colonial law followed settlement, protection systems, and extended government administration over Aboriginal communities. And now that administrative power could penetrate one of the most intimate relationships imaginable, parent and child. The contradiction was profound. Governments could describe intervention as being undertaken for Aboriginal children's welfare. But who'd given those governments superior authority to decide what an Aboriginal child's future should be? It wasn't the Aboriginals. Aboriginal parents had ceased being parents because colonial legislation existed. Families had not ceased possessing kinship obligations. Communities had not ceased knowing where children belonged. Yet government institutions increasingly possessed the coercive power to make their own decisions prevail. And once removal occurred, the consequences could travel across generations. Language, country, kingship, identity, knowledge, family memory. All could be disrupted when children were separated from the people responsible for passing them on. Aboriginal families resisted. They searched, petitioned, protested, tried to keep children home, tried to bring them back home. Because the question, viewers, was no longer merely whether government claimed authority over Aboriginal people. It was whether that claimed authority could reach inside an Aboriginal family and override the people who already belong there. And it did. It catastrophically did.